Working closely with the Governor's Office and the Attorney General's Office, we have identified court orders that will allow us to continue paying certain bills that serve some of our most vulnerable citizens, including programs at the Department of Children and Family Services, temporary assistance for needy families, child care assistance, and certain community programs for the developmentally disabled, the elderly, and those with mental illnesses. And last week, the Governor signed the Education Appropriation Bill, which means that our office will be able to make its general state aid payments on August 10th and avoid any disruptions to our schools. However, without an appropriation or a court order, we will be unable to continue payments to nonprofits, social services, and small businesses that are not covered by the court orders that I just mentioned for their new fiscal year 16 expenses. These are organizations that have been receiving expedited payments from our office for fiscal 15 due to existing hardships. And while they will still receive checks for any fiscal 15 payments that we still owe them, they will likely be among the first to feel the pinch because we are more current with them on our payments, and we do not have an appropriation to pay them for any of their new fiscal 16 bills. Similarly, other state vendors will have their new fiscal year bills put on hold. But as we discussed previously, we have over $5 billion in bills right now outstanding in our state. We will continue to pay down those bills, and so those vendors will probably not immediately notice that their new bills or current bills for this fiscal year are not being paid. So in general, our office will continue to process payments for bills incurred in the fiscal year that just ended. However, services that are authorized by state agencies in this new fiscal year will only be paid in full when we have appropriations from an approved budget in place. Lastly, there is the issue of paying state employees. The reason we are here today is because the General Assembly has failed to do its constitutional duty and pass a balanced budget for the state before the end of the fiscal year. Last year, the members of the General Assembly passed a law so that they would continue to be paid even if there is no budget in place. That means that the people who put us in this situation by failing to do their job will get their paychecks. So let's just think about that for a minute. The men and women who show up for work every day in our state to do their jobs as we require them to do have no idea when we will be ready to pay them. These are our first responders. These are the people who cut the checks and send them out to everyone to make sure the state payments occur on time. These are people providing human services. These are people with families and mortgages and financial obligations themselves. And we are asking them to wait for payment. Yet those who fail to do their job are those who we must pay first because they have the power to vote that for themselves. And ladies and gentlemen, that is one of the problems of Springfield today. As of today, I do not have a court order to allow me to pay state employees, nor do we have an appropriation since we have no budget. Depending on the payroll of their agency, some might start missing paychecks as early as July 15th.